On July 1st, I came back from Iraq. I was there for a couple of weeks and I witnessed firsthand the disruption of people's lives in a matter of hours. A good amount of people were displaced from their homes out of fear. When I was there, I saw Christians being persecuted and driven from their ancestral homes in a terrorist-sponsored genocide. After stripped of all possessions, these thousands of Christians, Chaldeans and non-Chaldeans, fled Mosul to the Nineveh plains where they're being protected by the Kurdish army. Many are living without basic necessities such as food, such as water, and shelter. This we saw firsthand. In one night, 42,000 people were displaced. That's when I was there. Where I was, in the town of Ankawa, 11,600 came overnight. And then the next few days, waves of more people coming in. They were on the floor, had no electricity, they had no water, they barely had enough gas to come without being able to go back. They were in bad shape. And so we would like to awaken the United States to what's happening there. We'd like to awaken the United States to see the ruins that are happening there. Unfortunately, President Obama has proclaimed that this is an Iraqi problem, but he will not allow the United States to get involved. It's definitely an Iraqi problem. We're not saying that it's not, but it's also an American problem. I, as an American citizen, do not wish the sacrifice of our youth and soldiers to go for nothing, for those who are there, supposedly to protect, have lost limb, have lost mind, have lost heartache, have lost life, have lost soul, can't end up like this. So, Mr. President, you cannot turn a blind eye to the misery of Iraq and the Iraqi Christians. There's a prayer that asks for forgiveness for things, quote, what I've done, what I've failed to do. ISIL has done this. President Obama has failed to do, both in a state of sin. So we also call for the international community to condemn this genocide and inhumane treatment of our Iraqi Christian brothers and sisters and all other people of Iraq. Plead and demand that humanitarian aid and security be expedited directly to Iraq's original indigenous people. The United States has given aid. Hardly any of it has reached the Iraqi Christians. I saw this with my own eyes. And so we're asking for direct aid. Very little of American aid has come to alleviate a lot of their pains. So we call upon also the Iraqi government to put an end to this terrorist-sponsored ethnic cleansing. Call upon the Iraqi government to be able to bring back our ability to trust in safety. We need safety. We acknowledge and appreciate aid and assistance of the Kurdish government and by some of our congressional leaders as well. But the hundreds of thousands suffering are in need of so much more. So we call upon our congressional leaders, some of which we met with, and have opened up their arms and opened up their hearts and have put up bills on the congressional floors and senators and the Senate floors as well. We ask all other senators and congressmen and women to please pay attention to these bills and to be able to allow these bills to pass, and also call upon all other governments to continue with their assistance. Ultimately, we ask for the whole United States to pray for those who are in need. This will be our gathering here in a few moments. We're here to pray, to proclaim that even though Jesus cannot be proclaimed in Mosul, he's proclaimed here. And we will always proclaim Jesus, even on behalf of others who cannot proclaim him. We gladly and with great honor proclaim Jesus on behalf of those who cannot. They might attack us, they might label us, they might put the letter noon on our homes, ridicule us, kick us out, we will arise in love and humbly embrace our faith and our Jesus even more. Lastly, I'd like to end with a letter that was written in 2008, September 26, 2008. It was written by Senator Barack Obama. It's a letter written to the Honorable Condoleezza Rice. It says, "Dear Secretary Rice, I am writing to reiterate my concern about the safety and well-being of Iraq's Christian and other non-Muslim religious minorities. Catholic, Chaldean, Syriac, Orthodox, Assyrian, Armenian, and Protestant Christians, as well as smaller Yazidi and Sabaean Mandaean communities, have paid a heavy price as a result of the conflict in Iraq and continue to face a high level of threat and abuse. Moreover, Christian and other non-Muslim religious minorities continue to constitute a disproportionately high percentage of the Iraqi refugee population. In addition to these troubling trends, Christian and other non-Muslim religious minorities continue to face considerable difficulty in ensuring that they are adequately represented in Iraqi governmental institutions. According to press reports, the new election law passed by the Iraqi parliament leaves out a provision that would have reserved a set number of provisional council seats for non-Muslim religious minorities. I ask that you provide responses to the following questions. What progress has been made over the last year in reducing the severe violations faced by these communities of religious freedom and other human rights? What specific steps has the State Department taken to urge the Iraqi government to provide protection to Iraq's Christian and other non-Muslim religious minorities? Has the Iraqi government been responsive to requests for such protection? What is the United States government's assessment of Iraqi government efforts to protect religious minority communities? What progress has the United States made over the last year in helping to secure asylum for those Iraqis who have a well-founded fear of persecution? What steps is the United States taking to ensure that Iraq's Christians and other non-Muslim religious minorities are properly represented in Iraq's governmental institutions? I appreciate your consideration. Look forward to receiving your prompt responses. Sincerely, Barack Obama, United States Senator. Mr. President, please answer your own questions.